Chris Chocola, let's just start off here. What do you say to folks like Ginta and others who say that this is going to pass? Is this a good thing, do you think, or is there anything that you can do to lobby against this?
Well, Amy, if the only measurement is whether it will pass or not, it's not a good measurement, and it certainly doesn't instill confidence in us at the Club for Growth, nor should it in the American people. You know, the question we should ask, not is if it can pass, but does it solve our long-term debt problem? After it passes, does the credit rating decline or not? And the credit rating for the United States isn't about the debt limit, it's about the debt. And so we have to put our country on a path to bending the debt curve, to have responsible behavior. The cut, cap, and balance plan does that exactly. We haven't seen the latest iteration of the Boehner plan. Maybe there's some good improvements to it, and we're willing to look at it, and we hope there's something we can be for. But the previous plan said let's have confidence in Congress that they'll do the hard work later. I'm not sure what Congress has done in a generation that would instill the confidence that they'll do the hard work later. It gives the president additional authority to raise the debt ceiling. I don't think Congress should responsibly give the president more authority in this situation. They should exercise their own authority. And so what we've seen, Chris, we're not supportive of, we're willing to listen.
All right, but Chris, I'm sure you read the lead editorial in the Wall Street Journal today that makes a pretty impassioned case that you guys are basically driving the Republican Party out of relevance, saying that the kind of thinking that you are representing, that they basically portrayed as fantasy land, trying to get purely everything that you wanted, not what can actually pass up here, and said this is the kind of thinking that nominated people like Sharon Angle and Christine O'Donnell, Republicans who lost in the last election.
Well, the Wall Street Journal, I think the sentence that matters the most in that editorial is that it's true that the Boehner plan does not solve our long-term debt crisis. And so that should be the measurement. Again, if the measurement is what can pass, that's been the measurement for a lot of Congresses previously, and look where it's gotten us. The president says we haven't done this before, but look what not doing it has led us to. It's led us to a debt crisis. It's led us to a situation where we can't pay our bills. Government's too big, so big, in fact, that the economy really can't sustain it to the point that the credit agencies are going to downgrade our credit rating. So, this is the Fram oil filter moment. You can pay me now or you can pay me later. And paying me later is always more painful and always more expensive. And so this is just gravity. It's going to happen. We're going to have to get our fiscal house in order. The sooner we do it, the less painful, the less expensive it will be. The more we put it off, just because something will pass, doesn't make the problem go away, and it gets harder and more painful every day henceforth.
Is there going to be a price to pay then, do you think, for Republicans who support this? The Club for Growth obviously in the past has gone into primaries, endorsed challengers to sitting incumbents.
Well, the lessons of 06 and 08 are that when Republicans don't act like Republicans, they lose. People elect Republicans for fiscal responsibility and limited government. If we just simply transfer the power to the president under the McConnell plan, or we say that we're going to believe in a commission sometime down the road and maybe just have a vote on a balanced budget amendment, I think the Republicans take a great risk that people will remember 06 and 08 and say, oh yeah, those guys don't do what we elect them to do, so we'll try something different again. So, this isn't really a Republican or Democrat issue. This is an American people issue. And we have to face up to the fact that we spend more money than we can afford to spend. Government's gotten too big. And we have a spending problem that must be resolved sooner rather than later.
Chris,
so
we're almost out of time. We're almost out of time. Sure. You're not answering Amy's question. Amy asked a very specific question. Are you guys going to be in there campaigning against people that vote for this? Are you going to make Republicans who vote for this pay a price by even opposing some of them?
What we've done is we've put out a key vote alert. That means that we will score this vote, assuming that the Boehner plan is as the Boehner plan was yesterday. If it's changed, we may look at it again. But as we understand it now, we will score the vote, we will put in their scorecard, and we make decisions on our actions in primaries and general elections based on our scorecards.
So in other words, those who vote could end up paying a political price for this.
They could, but I don't know that they should fear the Club for Growth as much as they should fear their own constituents. The American people are the ones that ultimately elect members of the House and the Senate, and they're the ones that are really, as Congressman Ginta said, 64% of Americans believe in the cut, cap, and balance approach, which is actually the only plan offered that solves the problem.
Thank you. All right. Well,
right,
thank you very much.
Chris.
We're obviously going to continue this debate for some time. John Carl, we're going to be watching you. You're all over Capitol Hill today. This is getting
all over the
really
place.
close.
We'll see you soon, Amy.